We are headed out on a little solo adventure. I was planning to bring my son out with me, but it's gonna be a little cold. The nearest town to where I'm going says it's down to 20 tonight, probably down into the teens, honestly, up a little higher elevation, and it's supposed to be windy. So I think he would have a miserable time. We would just kind of have to hang out in the tent the whole time, and I don't think he would like it. So I had a night where I could get away, my wife soloing the kids all right, and so I decided I'll just go on a quick little 18-hour adventure. And I did pack up Falkor, so he's in the back. He's getting a little older now. He's three and a half months, something like that, about 35 pounds. He's growing all right. I don't think he's gonna be a huge dog. I'm guessing he'll be like 75, 80 pounds when he's full grown. But at home, he hangs out outside half the time. He just loves being outside. Did a DNA test on him. He's full mutt. He's like everything. But his main breeds are this sheepdog and German Shepherd. So I think he'll do fine in the cold. We'll see how he does tonight. I'm gonna make a fire, make some food, just kind of hang out. It's gonna be a pretty quick one, and I'm gonna see what trails are open. So I'm gonna drive by a couple, see where I can go, and yeah, we'll do it. Time to adjust the Icon shocks to full soft mode. This is a super bumpy road, and it is nice. Unfortunately, when he was a puppy, he didn't puke, and now he does puke. So I have 2 pukey dogs in the car. Fantastic. definitely unfortunate that the curse of pukey dogs follows me everywhere. So I have some work cut out for me with this dog. Sure makes me miss Atreyu. Atreyu, the perfect dog that ever was. But he's a handsome fella, and you know, I do feel bad for him, obviously. Puking. I even gave him Mornin, what kind of works for my other car sick dog, and an anti-anxiety med, and still looks like he puked about 3 times back here. Big pukes, and it's dinner time, and I haven't fed him since breakfast. So that's sweet. Anyway, its sun is basically set, so I'm gonna get this tent set up and then maybe clean off the puke after. So if you've been following along the last video, I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it got flagged. It got the least views of any video that I've put out in maybe ever, maybe in my entire YouTube channel. But I was talking about rooftop tents and tents in general. So this is the 4x4 Colorado Alto Mini. This will be the first test in my rooftop tent showdown. This is a tent that'll fit perfectly over actually short bed Tacomas. I have a full height rack here, so I'm going up and above the cab, but this is a great one. And you know, probably if I reset this, I'd put it forward a little bit. It's hanging back a little bit, which provides a little bit of protection over here, but aesthetically, the more I look at it, I think I'd move it forward a little bit. But this is a perfect size for over the bed of a short bed truck. I'm gonna do a full dedicated review of this tent, so I won't talk about it too much in this video, but we will get it set up here. It is like similar, you know, to the iCamper Sky Camp that everyone knows, except it's got an extension over here to allow a window with ventilation over there and just open the interior up a little more. So all the windows are closed right now. So we'll see if it brightens up at that window in the back. It's got 2 big windows over here, kind of some admin storage type stuff over there. I'll probably put an iPad in there and watch some movies tonight. But yeah, now let's get some bedding in here. Okay, so I brought little BioLite fire pit and some wood and just really a minimal amount of stuff. My camping bin, which just kind of has everything. I don't even know if I'll use anything out of there or not. A chair. And yeah, like I said, not much else. There is a 270 awning on here that I don't think I will deploy because it's not really sunny or snowing or anything. There is a chance of snow on the forecast. I don't know if it will or not. I just kind of packed everything I need into the Vertex duffel. I forgot, this does not come with an Inflato mattress, but this is, Wolfbox just sent me this. Have you guys seen the, basically the ads for this? I've seen them, and I thought they were so gimmicky, but I'm a big fan of leaf blowers and stuff, and my son honestly loves it. I actually brought this because he just loves it blowing his face and hair and everything and like shooting stuff off the ground. But this has so much power, like it's kind of insane. And you can also use it to inflate mattresses, which is why I brought it. But I forgot, there's not actually an inflato mattress in this. That's an option, but I'm running this tent in the stock configuration. But I may use this to help start the fire, get it going. It has 3 speeds, so we'll try that out. We're losing daylight hours, so I'm just gonna get this fire and camp kind of set up, and I don't know. I know I talk a lot of gear, but I'll probably save a lot of that for tomorrow when the sun is back out. While I get that fire kind of cooking, I'm actually just gonna boil some water in a little cup. I got most of camp set up, so I brought a little battery with me, a little anchor, and I just got a little cheapy. This is actually a cheapy Amazon sleeping bag. I haven't used it yet. I have bags in a bunch of different tents and I just kind of leave them and lose them and whatnot, so this was just kind of an extra bag I bought for solo. Pretty cheap, but it's this kind of woodland camo type dealio. So anyway, here's the inside of the tent. I laid down a little towel for Falkor. Got a little anchor Solix in here, hooked up to the lights, and I'm also gonna run a little basically heated mattress topper in here. And out here I have my Starlink Mini in this bag. I'll show you more about that later. But here's the setup. Plenty of room in here. This is, I believe it's about 60 inches wide, so it's, you know, a 2 or 3 person tent. So myself and Falkor will have plenty of room in here. And yeah, so here's my views out here. It's very foggy in the distance. It's pretty eerie looking, honestly. Kind of cool out here. Down there I set up the fire against a rock backdrop to reflect a little heat back at me, and it'll be nice. You kind of see that is a highway over there. It's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles away. I don't hear any of it or anything, but that's what those lights are in the distance. Cool. So we're getting some water boiling, and then I'm pretty hungry. I didn't really eat anything today. So we got a chicken coconut curry from Puke Refuel. This got 44 grams of protein and 850 calories. So this will be very nice. And then this is actually frozen now. So this is a single serving Spam. I'm a big Spam fan, for those that don't know. Spam musubis especially, or Spam eggs and rice. Lived in Hawaii for a while. And then this, I'm sure a ton of people have done it, but I grabbed 2 pieces of bread and some old marshmallows that are also frozen, so that'll be a little harder. And then a couple pieces of chocolate that I got in a stocking stuffer for Christmas. I think it's like sea salt dark chocolate. And I'm gonna make little s'mores. And then I got some hot chocolate mix here as well. But what I'm gonna do is grab this guy. I've only actually used this guy once, but I'm sure you guys have seen him before. This little, basically cast iron, just try and get some light on here. Cast iron griddle type guy. So it opens, you put the sandwich in there, you can make all kinds of yummy food, and I'm gonna make basically a s'mores on this. Wind is picking up now, and it is quite cold. I put Falkor just in the cab of the truck there so it could warm up a little bit. And my Spam is actually cooked nicely. And then I got a little extra water. I got a thing of milk at the store, and I'm gonna heat some milk and make some rich hot chocolate. I've said it before, but bagged meals are easy when it's cold, and Puke's definitely the best of the bagged meals. And then you got yourself a nice little hand warmer when it's cooking. So we'll let this cook for a while, heat my hands up as well, and maybe I'll put it in my jacket and get my core a little warmer. And then, yeah, I just FaceTimed with the family because I got Starlink going, so that's a nice little thing. I left when Cooper was taking a nap, so he's up now and was upset that myself and Falkor were gone. So, yeah, I'll probably crunch on my Spam here. Bone apple tea. Let's see the cookiness. Ooh, you see that? Look at that. This side's a little bit burned, but this side, perfection. Just straight up Spam, like a candy bar. I was talking to some friends who's doing kind of a preparedness thing, testing expired Spam out. And he was like, yeah, it's not as good as I remember it as a kid. I was like, you kidding me? I love Spam. I love it so much. It is a little bit windy for a fire right now. I've had people ask me, so you may have heard of the Howl campfire pit. This is a BioLite. This is a normal wood fire. It's got a little fan blower so you can really get it cooking. And I like that it still has heat out the sides. It's one of the few fire pits that has heat out the sides. You can probably see right here this grate. If you've watched past Weekenderlanders, you know I'm a big fan of this fireplace because it's lightweight. You can actually store some wood in it, compact, pretty nice. But it's actually it's not crazy windy out, but it's about at the edge of where wood fire pits are kind of hard because the flame is just blowing crazy. What I like about the Howl fire pit is that I don't really care too much about having the flame on. If it's just too windy and it's whipping around all crazy, you could turn it off and just use the bar coals, and that radiant heat is still warming you up. So this is similar, except it doesn't have a ton of coals in here to really kick out the warmth out the side, but I can put my hands almost right up next to it and get warm, so, or over the top, but then you always risk the flames whipping around at you. So anyway, it's nice. Spam is delicious. I'll probably get going on my little s'mores contraption here soon too. This would work better if the marshmallows weren't hard as a rock, because then I could kind of smush them around a little bit. All right, so then these things, you know, you can put them on coals or whatever, but I'm just gonna stick it in there and let it cook up for a bit. Also looks like my milk is coming to a slow boil. Oh, good. This is like using one of these little clip-on cap-ons. Little face illumination, not bad. Oh God, it is cold. We need to put on some gloves soon. I keep on just warming them up. By the fire. I'm gonna flip my s'mores treat. The chicken coconut curry. Ah, so good. I just fed Falkor in the truck. And so that my dogs love camping. They don't get a whole lot of human food at home. So, you know, my kid, my 2-year-old, drops food on the ground. So actually they get a fair amount because my 2-year-old drops food all the time. But I don't ever feed them. So when I go camping, I share my food with them. So they associate loving camping. They like camping anyway because they love just kind of roaming around. Falkor actually did good. Off leash. He just kind of stayed near the camp spot. All right, let's check how this thing's going. It's looking pretty stinking yummy. That side could cook a little longer. My coconut curry spoon here. It's another reason I love the BioLite. I don't know if you can tell. I'll try and get some light on it. Is that almost lost my camera there. You can slide this tray so you can get it off, so you can kind of have your stuff cooling over here while you're still cooking stuff over there. It's pretty nice. So this is perfect. Now it actually oozed out quite a bit. I'll have to clean this thing up later. Look at that though. Oh, perfection. Okay, so I'll pull this thing out and then basically have a s'mores sandwich. Well, the wind is getting pretty unpleasant. I'm gonna get my s'mores out though. Look at this thing. Oh, that's delicious. Dark chocolate,
s'mores. Salted dark chocolate. Wow, my hands are numb though.
So it's a little later now, actually up in the tent, and wind actually just died down almost as soon as I got in the tent. So that's kind of nice. It'll be nice if it stays died down. This is extra little rumple blanket I had, and then my jacket that I put on the dog. I don't know if he needs it. Again, like, his coat is pretty thick and luxurious, and he is out in the cold at our house all the time. But just in case, I lined the wall with like boots and stuff to provide a little bit of insulation there. I have a bunch of lights on just so you could see what's going on here. So my boots and stuff over there, he's here. I'm sleeping kind of in the middle. My drone over there, actually I hadn't logged in. I didn't have service, so I couldn't even fly it on the way in. So hopefully I can fly it on the way out. I'm going to try and update that on Starlink right now. Water bottles, this is just like my duffel bag of whatever. And then this is the light that comes with the tent that's just plugged into my little Anchor power station. Got flashlight, gun, stuff like that up here. Power station has been running the blanket and Starlink actually for a while. I turned the blanket on quite a bit before I went to bed. So it's pulling 142 watts right now. And then, yeah, dog over here. So pretty roomy in here, actually, for all my junk to spread out. And then have plenty of room for my dog, and then plenty of room for myself here. I got the Vertex base layer and then just some thick wool socks. So, yeah. Pillow, ready for bed. Heated blanket, nice and warm. So, yeah, I think I'll catch you guys in the morning. All right, well, looks like we got a little dusting of snow out there. Not much, maybe half inch or so. Slept all right. It was pretty windy for a portion of the night, and my dog Falkor chews on everything. So basically I was trying to get him to stop chewing on things. Oh, look, here's the little piece of zipper from my jacket he chewed off. This morning I caught him chewing on the cord to my electric blanket. So that was fun. And yeah, puppies are a joy. A huge, huge joy. Anyway, let's get up. You know, he's just a puppy. He's just a puppy rolling in the dirty snow. He's just a dirty, dirty puppy. Overall, he's not bad. He's a cute dog. He's this is the first time he's kind of been at camp where he could just run anywhere he wants, and he just kind of hangs out with me, follows me around, doesn't stray, so gotta look at the positive. He's good in some ways. He's just, you know, a lot of training left to do. So anyway, yeah, like I said, light dusting of snow, not much at all. Most of it has already actually, when the sun just hit it a little bit, started melting off, so that is nice. Wind sucked. The wind made some pretty decent noise And that's one thing where once you learn a tent, you kind of can learn what things flap around and make noise. Like I really needed to secure this window back down that I had opened up to get the Starlink out. There's usually there's a strap that you use to close it that was slapping around a little bit. There are a few zippers making noise, things like that. Those are all things that are easy to work out, but since this was my first night in the tent, I didn't work those things out. So it was pretty noisy. The other thing is, a lot of times if it's windy, and especially if you have a hard shell tent like this, if you face this side into the wind, then that'll be much quieter. For me, the wind was actually coming from this side, so I had the tent oriented about as wrong as one could orient it. I did put everything away before the snow, fortunately, so that thing, I let that die out before I went to bed, and then I put everything else in the truck. So all my stuff is dry. I brought a fair bit of stuff up into the tent with me that I'll grab out, but everything else was nice. The truck drove so nice. The Icon suspension here with the CDEV, basically the electronically adjusting shock, so you can just through your phone select the ride quality. That was surprisingly good. That was, I didn't air down or anything. My tires are a little low. I think they're like 30 or high 20s. I'll have to check. But without actually airing down, that drive was nice. Actually, there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. A lot of gear and stuff, but I think since it's so windy out here, and I don't know how my audio's coming through, I have my mic under my hood, so it might be rubbing, but I was trying to hide it from the wind, and it also has the little dead cat kind of mic wind cover on there. So audio may be okay, but it's pretty windy out, and my fingers are cold, and I think I'll just start getting packed up, and then we'll do a nice driveway breakdown of the trip. I'll try and fly the drone on the way out, so get some shots of driving. All right, but I think that's it. I don't think I'm gonna make breakfast or anything, or even coffee or anything like that. I'll just drink some water and pack up and roll out. But it's a nice little spot. I've camped here a couple times in the past. There's actually pretty beautiful. It's still really foggy, misty out there, but there are actually some nice expansive views, kind of 360 views out here where you can kind of see mountains all around. So it's not bad. There's a lot of aspens out here, and a lot of the aspens, well, all the aspens are leafless, so it's got that vibe. But when the aspens are here, it's actually pretty beautiful spot. What are you doing, Falkor? The good thing, I think I talked about it in the past, so a lot of you guys know my OG, my soul dog, my best bud. I had to put down, I guess, about 5 months ago. He's actually 4 months. I think I said earlier he was 3 months. I had my month wrong. Put him down. My other dog, my little puke wussy dog, Maple, she was distraught. And so we searched for another dog. This is just a rescue. All our dogs were rescues. Not to flex on you guys, but we always do rescue dogs, you know how it is. Anyway, we visited a few shelters, went to a couple events, and actually didn't find him at any events. Ended up finding him online. And I've always wanted, just aesthetically, I've always loved brindle coats. They're nature's camouflage. But a lot of times brindle coats come on pit bulls and boxers, and nothing wrong with those dogs. Atreyu was actually 50% pit bull. He was an amazing dog. But a lot of times they're on shorter hair, or Malinois shorter hair. So this dog had kind of the brindle coat, but he had long hair. So he was perfect because I wanted a dog that could handle this kind of stuff. You know, it's 20 degrees out here. Wind is blowing. I can't even hold my camera because my hands are so cold. And he'd be fine out here all day. When I would take Atreyu out, he would get really cold. And even if I put a jacket on him or something, his paws would get really cold. So that aspect is what we were looking for. And then I love German Shepherd dogs because they're good dogs. You know, they're good guard dogs and instinctually good dogs. And he has the German Shepherd looking face, so we rolled the dice and said he'll check a lot of the boxes. We did a DNA test, and he is something like 30% Marima Shepherd. It's this a white sheepdog, or Marima sheepdog, super fluffy white sheepdog. And then he's like 20% German Shepherd, and then a bunch of other species. I'm going to stand behind the truck to get out of the wind here. And he was from the Navajo res, so he's a Navajo res dog. And DNA test said he should be, I think like 60 to 80 pounds, something like that. So he'll be an okay size, not as big as Atreyu, but kind of a medium-sized dog is more convenient for throwing in your car and camping and whatnot. So anyway, that's the story of Falkor. My other dog was Atreyu. Some people think I named him after the band Atreyu, which, you know, I do like the band Atreyu, but he's actually from a childhood movie, The Never-Ending Story. Atreyu is the main kind of mainish character in that movie. He's a warrior child. And I always wanted to name my real son Atreyu. But I had kids later than expected, and so I named my dog Atreyu first, and my wife probably wouldn't have let me name our son Atreyu anyway. In that book, or the movie, there's another character called Artax, and he's the horse. He's Atreyu's horse. So that would have been a good name, but that name's really tough, and I would have to repeat it all the time, and nobody would know. So I actually like the ring of the, what are they called? The luck dragons, but it's the big flying dog dragon in that movie. And that dragon was named Falkor. So that's where he gets his name, Falkor. Okay. You guys probably didn't care about that, but oh well. All right, so in here we got sleeping bag, duffel, my pants that I haven't put on yet because I'm wearing these puffy pants, and yeah, some other miscellaneous gear. So I'll get this all packed up and then show you what the interior storage of the tent looks like. But we got a skylight up here. These windows are both closed, but those can open up, and then the window in the back is partially open. But man, a lot of room in here. Again, I'm going to do a full tent review of this tent, so I'll save some of the nitty-gritty and whatnot for that. But it was a surprisingly good night in the tent, despite my puppy being a menace and wind being kind of out of control. All right, so pretty much packed up here. Gonna see if the drone will launch or if I got to figure that out later. What we got on the inside is kind of nice in this tent, actually. So it's all cleared out. This folds in half, essentially. But then what you get is basically right where there's kind of a line in the mattress, if you can see it there, which is also about the same spot where this bungee cord goes. The bungee cord helps suck the material in when you close the tent. The mattress basically folds to that line. So anything on the other side of that bungee, you can basically store all your bedding, pillows, everything. You say, I just have a sleeping bag and a pillow there for size reference. But I think you could do like 2 sleeping bags and 2 pillows. You don't need to put them in the bag. Probably it'd actually be better not in the bag if you just kind of folded them up on the side there. But basically once this thing folds back up, you can just access your stuff there. And then you can also open this window, so you don't have to open the tent all the way. You can just open one side of the tent essentially and pull your stuff out that window or load it into that window. So that's kind of a pretty cool little feature. Let me see. All right, home now. Got the little dog hammock filled with puke out. Pretty gross here. Luckily, it was all contained. See all the dust and junk here? I mean, I'm kind of impressed, honestly. So like I said, they did send this out, and honestly, it's just been my son's favorite toy. I don't know if you can tell, he's dropped it quite a bit. Bunch of nicks and little dings in here, but still going strong. It's a blower, but it's also an inflator. I might try to 3D print something here to also allow it to deflate, but it has all these different nozzle attachments for the inflator. And it's just so much more powerful than any of the inflators I have. So let's see how fast. Just out of curiosity, because if I do want to invest in 3D printing this thing, then I want to make sure it's super speed. So it's a pretty thick pad. That was pretty quick, actually. So anyway, yeah, the MF100 super blower. Again, I saw these on like Facebook ads and wasn't sure how they were, but I love little leaf blowers and stuff like that. And this one's super compact, and I thought might be cool for just dusting stuff off and inflating mattresses when I have a relevant inflatable mattress. I bought it out on this trip because I forgot that's not actually an inflatable mattress. So I didn't end up actually using it. Anyway, I'll link this down below. Again, they did send it out to me, but I actually think it's pretty rad. So that's how it works. I say this in videos a lot. A lot of companies send me stuff and it sucks, and I just don't use it and don't show it and send it back or give it to someone. And when something's good, I show it to you guys. So that's how that works. Unpacking the tent. Again, the BioLite Firepit. This thing, I just like it. Hashtag not sponsored at all. I bought this thing years ago. You can see actually it's like rusting. It's like rusting. It's rusting out kind of everywhere. I don't know if this thing has improved or not, but I've used and abused it, left it out in the rain. It's the blower still works. The solar panel still charges it. It's, again, I think maybe they've updated it since then, but still one of my favorite little fire pits just because relatively compact. I do think the Solo stove is a little more smokeless than the BioLite, even with the fans on. I just feel like when I'm around Solo stoves, they seem to smoke a little less, but that is super handy because of the grill that's already on top that you can cook with and everything. Other than that, not much in here. Yeah, camping bin, Pelican, which I didn't even use at all, firewood, front runner chair. That's just a bag of tools, camera bag. This, I'm gonna build out a little thing on it, which will be pretty rad. Eventually, back seat. Not much going on, really. One thing also to show you, this is kind of the driveway gear breakdown, is this little mount here from Off-Roam. So this is one of the easiest install things that I've ever done. And it's a phone mount, you know, gives you a little ball mount here, 20 millimeter ball. And this is a MagSafe charger. And I think they're developing one that has the MagSafe charger with the plug in the back, so it doesn't kind of hang down here like this. That's a little in the way. Anyway, this is where I like my phones mounted. This is my favorite spot for mounting a phone. Dash cam up there too. So it's right here, and then here. If I put my camera basically where my vision is, the phone is basically like right at the top of the windshield. So I'm not actually blocking any of my view or anything like that. And then it's just here within reach. I can touch it, I can do stuff. CarPlay is not nearly as good as Android Auto, so you do still need phone input. So I like it up here, and then it just charges while I go. Doesn't block anything. It's not getting hit by vents and overheating or anything like that. So it's my favorite spot. So Off-Roam makes this perfect mount for it. And I just got it and installed it in like 20 seconds. So that was pretty rad. I'll link to all this stuff down below as well. Beyond that, I got the Vertex Duffel. This is the 50 liter. I do like this. And then here's the zipper that my dog chewed off last night. That's always nice. But this is the Integrity Plus jacket. They just updated this. Vertex just updated this jacket. And the last version, the fit was a little bulky in the midsection. Like it made me look a little fat, but it was still my favorite jacket. Just for how light and compact it is, it was so warm. They updated the fit on it, and now the fit is perfect for me anyway. And it was kind of my favorite jacket already, but now officially my favorite jacket. I'll link that down below. Do have coupon codes with them. I can already see it. The people are like, all you do is talk about gear. Yeah, I do. It's a gear. It's a heavy gear-centric channel. So I try to, after the Weekenderlanders, do a driveway gear breakdown with all the gear that I actually used on the trip. So that's what this segment is here for anyone that is curious. The Mavic, you probably saw I had hardly any drone footage on the way out. I flew it just a little bit, but my dog was busy puking in the back seat, so I was kind of dealing with that and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna deal with this puke and not fly the drone much. This is pretty cool. This bag here is from Forge Concepts. I actually pulled it up because I didn't know how much this was. Looks like 120 is what it starts at. Forge Concept Starlink mini bag. So before I was carrying my Starlink mini in like a janky laptop bag with accessories and then pulling it out and putting it away. Anyway, this thing, last night, I should have recorded it. I was getting like 280 megabytes down speed, sitting like this on the roof. So what I did was I fished it out there, set this on the roof, and just left it in the bag, which is nice. So now I have a protective bag that I can transport the Starlink mini in. It has this little panel, kind of laser cut panel on the back, so you can hook suction cups or magnets or whatever to this. And I'm told, you know, it's not fully waterproof or anything like that, but if you want to throw it up on your roof with magnets or suction cups on this thing, you can just do it just like that. So what else I have in here? I just ran it off the Anchor battery that I had in here. So the Starlink mini fits snugly in there, and then you have this back portion behind where I have the USB cable just hooked up to it, so I can run this out and plug it into a power bank or whatever. I just got this cable on Amazon, again, linked to everything. And then I got one of their little, I think it's their flashbang insert that just Velcros right in there and holds this battery. So this has a 100-watt PD. I think you could get away with a 45-watt USB-C PD, but I got one that has a 100-watt PD so it can power the Starlink. So that way, basically the Starlink mini with the battery, one unit, I don't actually need an external power source. I can run it off of this directly that's kept in the bag for remote off-grid internet. So that thing is pretty slick. It's kind of a minimal, no-nonsense bag again. It's got really one pocket here for the Starlink to squeeze in and then some room behind it. It's got some ways to tuck cables in and out of the bag so you don't have to go through the zipper and stuff like that. So anyway, cool little setup. This is my first time using it. And then beyond that, let me show you real quick what I was talking about with the gear storage. So you can pop open these clasps and then bump it up real quick. Pop the tent up without fully, you can access this. I showed you guys earlier. Basically, all your gear here. So if you want to load it up before a trip, or if you're like, oh, I need to get my pillow out, you can actually get it through this back window, which is pretty slick. So back here you can see all this storage area, and you could fit, you know, like I think I said earlier, probably 2 pillows and 2 sleeping bags in here, no problem. So that's kind of a neat hidden Easter egg function if you want to open it up and get it out. Anyway, these tents do also come standard with roof rack on top. That is a removable roof rack, so you could take it off if you don't need it or leave it on, but it's really low profile. I think you can tell how low pro it is. And it's kind of the extrusion with the drop-in slots there, so you can just drop in your accessories and go to town. Do have the 270 awning up there as well. Didn't use that on this trip, but in the full tent review, which I'll probably be posting a week or 2 after this video, I will deploy the awning, and then this tent does come with an awning room as well. This opens up and there's a room basically that comes off the side of it, which is pretty cool. So on the full height Diamondback up top rack here with the folding table carrier, and then on the Diamondback. So I think I'm gonna figure out how to kind of mount one of those 11-pound propane tanks right here. It fits perfectly, and some other gear. And then I might mount some L-track in the middle, so that way I can kind of section this off when I want to take a load. I could strap tables or bags or whatever up here with an L-track and then strap that down to the cleats on this side. So that's kind of, I'm getting this setup dialed in nicely, and this will be, again, kind of the test platform for all the tents this year. So yeah, this was the first one, the 4x4 Colorado Alto Mini. I'm looking like the colors, actually, the tan, kind of the coyote tan, matches the gold pretty well. It's like a pretty aesthetic setup. Okay, I think I'll stop there because I think this is a pretty long video. I was gonna update you on other projects, but I've been doing a lot of project update videos already, so I'll be doing more of those soon. So yeah, cool. Sorry, the sun's crazy over there. So appreciate the view. Hit that thumbs up button, all that good stuff. Really appreciate you guys. And yeah, I will be continuing. I'm gonna try and roughly do a tent review a month. You know, it won't perfectly play out that way. So that means I will go camping, and I'll try to put out at least, you know, I usually go camping more than this, but I'll try to put out at least one Weekenderlander, probably more again, but at least one Weekenderlander a month. So the rooftop tent reviews will kind of hold me to that. So that's a nice little side bonus for you guys. Yeah, you'll get Weekenderlanders thrown in the mix as well. All right, guys, appreciate you using links if you ever want to buy anything down in the video description below. It's a big part of how I make money on the old YouTube train, so appreciate that. And until next time, take care.